Welcome back to this edition of Ryanology. I'm your host, Ryanology, and thank you for tuning in. On this episode, I'm very fortunate to have Mary Waite, our very own Dartmouth School Committee member, talking about the spelling bee as well as the DEF grants that we were able to grant to some of our groups and programs around the Dartmouth school system. I also have Kevin, a member of the esports club here at the Dartmouth High School, as well as Nyan, who is a member of the robotics club here at the high school, and they also talked about how the grants impacted them and their teams. Please stay tuned and enjoy.
Dartmouth High School is committed to providing a quality education for all learners. Dartmouth High School is home to over 1,000 students with a variety of academic and extracurricular offerings that make Dartmouth High School a special place to learn. At Dartmouth High School, we have a program for you. From our world-class music programs to our exceptional varsity athletic offerings to the more than 20 advanced placement courses, students at Dartmouth High School have unique opportunities to grow and develop throughout their high school experience. Our mission at Dartmouth High School is to prepare all students for whatever opportunities they wish to pursue upon graduation. Whether you plan to continue your education at a 2, 4 trade or technical school, enter directly into the workforce, or volunteer in service to our nation, Dartmouth High School will prepare you for the future of your choosing. We invite students considering Dartmouth High School to shadow a current student, to experience a day in the life of a Dartmouth High School student. We are confident that you will walk away believing that Dartmouth High School is a special place to learn and to grow. We look forward to seeing you around Dartmouth High School soon.
Welcome back. Today on the show, I'm very fortunate to have school committee member Mrs. Mary Waite, as well as two of our very own Dartmouth High School students, Nyan Bala and Kevin, a member of our esports team. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me today. So I'll start with you, Mrs. Waite. Before we get into the DEF grants, would you like to kind of talk about the Dartmouth School Spelling Bee that's coming up?
Sure. So the Dartmouth Education Foundation has for a number of years, although we had to pause for COVID, been putting on a spelling bee. Generally, it's in the fall. It's an adult and high school spelling bee, really for fun. Everyone comes costumed and, in teams that, really showcase the name bee. In doing this and having this fun night, all of our community members are really focusing their energies towards the schools and raising money to fund really special projects, which we'll hear about today as some of the students are going to showcase those. So generally we raise about $18,000 that we're able to give back almost entirely to the schools, because with a spelling bee, we really have very limited expenses, and we find that the community really is supporting that bee through paying for teams, as sponsors for teams, or as sponsors for one of the various flights that we have. So, and even gifting raffle items and things like that. So.
And how many Dartmouth Schools projects are you able to fund with the money that you get from the spelling bee event?
It varies from year to year. Generally speaking, I would say probably about 12, but again, we have some that certainly are a little bit more expensive, and in some cases we may be able to only partially fund one of those grants. In some cases we partner with the schools, and they're able to look at the list as well that we get from teachers, and they say, okay, we can actually find money in our budget to fund those. So generally speaking, I would say, probably 10 to 12, again, depending on the number that we receive and the amount of each. And we try to do that through all of the different schools in the town. So generally we have at least one grant that we're giving to, say, like Cushman, DeMello, to each of our 5 schools.
And it's also really fantastic because through the different programs, through the United States government, and not only working here, we were able to fund, as a town, all the after-school programs for the elementary schools.
Yep.
Which, I spoke with you last week about the Spanish. We took a look at that, of their program, and that's really fantastic. But being able to focus on other things as well must be very great, on your point
and
of view.
it's so exciting, because really what it comes down to is that we see that these projects, the teachers that are presenting these projects to us are really thoughtful, and they're coming to us with these exciting ideas and tools that they want to bring back for their students. And they know that this is going to enrich their curriculum, this is going to be meaningful, this is going to be hands-on, and again, we'll hear about some of these particular programs and grants, but to see that excitement. And usually, these are somewhat micro grants, we're $1,000 in some cases, 2 or 3, maybe even just a couple $100 to buy some, targeted books for, say, like middle school students who really want to read graphic novels and have a different way of accessing literature. So again, I think those programs it's just to feel that excitement and to be able to, look at the list and saying we can give this to teachers who really, again, they're trying to it's all about the kids. They're trying to bring this into their classroom, excite their students, and engage. And again, it's been a pleasure, and I'm pretty honored to be part of this process. So.
And we can actually kind of segue into those programs
yes.
now. So, Nyan, do you want to kind of describe what you do here at the high school and how the grant affected you and your program?
Yeah, so I'm part of our school's robotics team. I'm an officer, and so I handle kind of all outreach coordination, some of the fundraising that we do, and the DEF grant has helped us tremendously, and we've acquired it a few times in past years, and it's been absolutely imperative to our team's success. Through the funding, we've been able to purchase like CNC machines so we can make custom aluminum and polycarbonate parts for our robots, and this really gives us the competitive edge we need to really dominate over other teams. The DEF grant has also been able to provide us with transportation to so many of our events, and many of our students, especially on the younger side, would not be able to attend our competitions and some of our really key events without buses being provided. And so this really allows kind of for a more equitable opportunity for all students to be able to attend these events and really get to meet other teams in the area. So it's really been absolutely just crucial to our team's success.
And it looks like, the outcome has came. Recently, you guys went to the state's competition. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. But you guys placed first?
Yeah, so in our alliance partners, we placed first, and one of our teams, 13406, is moving on to state competitions, which is on March 5th. So we are so excited about that. And they even won 2 trophies, and winning 2 trophies in one qualifier is something we do not see every year. So we could not be more proud of our team.
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you. Yes.
And that's really fantastic as well, because I know I spoke with you at the beginning of the year. COVID was definitely a huge thing that kind of rocked the robotics team. You said being at home, everyone taking parts, not being able to really work it out because it's difficult, but having the ability not only to come back into the building, to have this wonderful grant funded by the school committee and just other Dartmouth teams, really must be great just to see the building of your club and the rebuilding of it after this year. So.
Absolutely. It's been really so liberating just seeing the transition from everything being online, building at home, and then now everyone coming together collectively and collaborating on these robots. And then to see our hard work really be put to use in the competitions in person has been absolutely incredible.
Well, thank you for explaining, the robotics team. And, as stated before, I cannot wait to see, I hope states goes well. Like you said, new materials, new things being purchased for the team. It's big, and like you said, it gives you the competitive edge. And, here at Dartmouth High School, we support every, scene of that. So I hope the robotics team advances well into the future.
Thank you.
And now I'll kind of go to you, Kevin. So you are a member of the esports team, correct?
We started last year during, COVID. We had this idea of making a team where we could start doing leagues and just having a good team. We have started to find new leagues to compete in different tournaments, but we have been trying to do some fundraiser because some of the tournaments, has fees and stuff. So, and whoever can't pay it, we're trying to do some fundraising to, have some money so other people can play in it. But we started last year, and it's going good right now. We're rebuilding the living room right next to Mr. Bosworth into a small gaming room. We've bought some things already to go in it.
So what has the DEF grant allowed you and the esports team to kind of advance with, not only in your room, but as you stated, with the fees?
So that we started to pay for the league for some of the grants from the money because some of the kids could not pay. But we started doing that. We've been rebuilding the room with some of the money. And with a grant, we have the school computers, which honestly for us trying to play on from like last year, we were at our home playing, but from now, we are trying to like get new computers, better working internet in that room, like so we can have new computers so they run fast during the games, and it was very helpful for us.
So it sounds like, from your standpoint at least, being able to see these things kind of flourish and grow out,
Oh, absolutely.
you're feeling,
Well, again, and I have to say, it really wouldn't happen without the extended community, because this is a time when we have the spelling bee, and I don't know if I did it justice really when I first did our introduction. It isn't just the members of the Dartmouth Education Foundation. It's really all the members of the community who are committing to this. We have different groups that come in from insurance companies. We have our teachers. We have all sorts of businesses that are committing to this work. They're coming as teams, sponsoring a flight. So it really is a community effort. It's the members of Dartmouth, the population of Dartmouth saying, like, we value the schools and we want these teachers to have these tools. And I think, so it's really just a fun night to see everybody come together, but even more satisfying to hear these voices, and know what's happening, and to know that they may get the monitors that they need to really, create this space. And to help so many different groups. I think that's the other thing. We have robotics, we have esports, we have, reading curriculum, we have, this space, so it's just, there's just so many cool projects, and it's just so exciting to see the diversity of ideas and enthusiasm, flourishing in all of our schools and with our students. So, it's exciting to be part of that. So.
Well, thank you all for coming on the show
sure.
today. And please, all Dartmouth school members, all of the populace and Dartmouth businesses, please take a look at this event. If you consider donating, it's obviously going to a fantastic place for hearing from our robotics and esports standpoints. Everyone gets benefited by it, so please take a look, enjoy, and thank you all.
Yes,
once again.
no, thank you so much, and thank you to the community, and thank you to Mr. Parati and everyone for having us. Thank you, Ryan. It was nice to meet both of you, Naya. So thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
Okay.
The 10th Annual Spelling Bee is being held by the Dartmouth Education Foundation. On Thursday, March 3rd, team entry and sponsorship forms will be due. It will take place March 24th in the DHS auditorium from 7 to 9 p.m. The purpose is to raise money for teacher grants. For more information, visit www.defma.org.
Hello, I'd like to thank the DEF for giving us funding for all this amazing equipment, and I will show you Zed equipment that we use. So right here we have this beautiful camera. We can use it for that set over there, or we can use it for the green screen when we're recording on that. Like, we could record the weather, like student skits that they can use on the green screen or anything like that. Also, the teleprompter on the actual main camera. Now that we're talking about the green screen, let's take our focus to this camera. Now, this camera, we recently used it to record the 8th grade orientation, as well as various other events around the school, interviews, anything really. Also, our beautiful cameraman, who's actually recording it, is using the same camera that we bought with our funding. So thank you again, DEF, for funding our program, and thank you for giving us the money to buy all this amazing equipment.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Ryanology. I'd like to thank our very own school committee member, Mrs. Mary Waite, as well as two of Dartmouth High School's very own students, Kevin and Ian, for joining me on the show today. Please take a look at our newest episode coming in just a few weeks.